of Sparta Environmental Commission meeting of Thursday, June 12th, 2025. The meeting is called to order at 7:04. We are live in the council chambers at the municipal building. My lips will loosen up. And also on YouTube at Sparta TWP /streams. Adequate notice of this meeting was provided to the public and the press on January 10th, 2025 by delivering to the press and posting on the township website a copy of the notice. Please join me in saluting the flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. First item is, roll call. I almost skipped it.
Deputy Mayor Marjorie Murphy,
Here.
Chair Kimberly Knoll,
Here.
Vice Chair Neil Sauerwein,
Here.
Christine Dunbar,
Here.
Ted Gall,
Here.
Christine Rogers,
Here.
Barbara Kazalka,
Here.
Landon Tenieri,
Here.
Robert Otto,
Here.
John Groff. Thank you.
All right, our first item of business is approval of the minutes of May 22nd, 2025. Did everybody have a chance to review them and have any changes or clarifications? All right, hearing none, do I have a motion to approve the minutes, May 22nd, 2025?
A motion to accept the minutes of May 22nd, 2025. This is Chris.
Thank you, Chris. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thanks, Neil. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'm going to abstain. Rob abstains also. Okay, next item of business is the NEPA survey for the cellular antenna facility, 16 Bridget Way over in Lake Mohawk. The correspondence is included here. They do clarify that it only has to do with the National Historic Preservation Act and is not about the zoning process. In looking at the map, I'm not aware of any historic sites where this is, but not sure if anybody else has any comments or concerns.
I don't believe it's in Lake Mohawk. I'm pretty sure it's outside the lake in Sparta, on top of the mountain.
Yeah, looks like it's on top of the
Bridget
mountain.
Way? Yeah, I don't know of any Bridget Way in Lake Mohawk.
Yeah,
It's the side name.
So
Lake
where it
Mohawk.
says
It's what?
The
Lake
side name.
Mohawk, I don't think that's true.
yeah, I think they're calling that antenna tower Lake Mohawk. I don't think they're
Yeah.
trying to say it's in Lake Mohawk.
Yeah. There was an antenna about half an inch to the left at the top of Longview Road, which shows us a dotted line going up there. But it's not used anymore. I don't know if it's still there.
But it was an antenna, not a historic site. You're
Up by
talking
the
about.
water tower? That's on Stanhope. Are you seeing?
No, not that, yeah, it's not that, with the water tower on Stanhope. It's off of, it's near Glenside. It's above Springbrook. So it's that, I guess it's that development that's off of,
It is behind it, yeah.
yeah. It's not really Lake Mohawk. It's off of Lee Hill Road, that development, I think.
Oh, yeah,
See?
that's it there?
Yes.
Oh,
I don't see any historic things nearby it.
Yeah,
terrace, right?
that's the end of it.
That's the end of it there. And I think that might be Byram even.
That's what I see on my map.
It's-
It's on, but the Byram side.
The address is Sparta,
It's
though.
dress is Sparta, but
I don't think there's anything historic up there, but
I don't think so either.
it's just the view from,
You know, so I think Lake Mohawk should be replaced by Sparta.
I don't think we get to rename it for them, but. All right, so do we have any questions or comments, or do we want to take a bit more time?
What are they trying?
Can we ask them for any more information?
Yeah, what do we want to ask them for more information about?
Well, if they identify it as being protection of historical properties, can we just kind of, I'm looking at houses on Bridget Way that are like 1990s, so could they maybe just clarify that maybe they have something that returns it as historic? So we could look, because I don't want to say we're good with approving it without seeing what came back on their system that said it has a historic association.
Right, just to clarify, we're not approving.
And it's on the top of the water tower.
Yeah.
So is it in line with those existing?
I don't know.
Anten-
And can we ask, like, what's the history of the water tower? I mean, start there, maybe.
I think what this is NEPA compliance is just, it's a federal process. So
Standard.
one step in that federal process is the historic preservation. So you have to just do a check to make sure that any work that you're doing, especially if you're using federal funds, that you aren't impacting historic properties. So it's just basically one step in the process.
Is
You
there-
also have to look at endangered species. Like, there's a whole list of
Yeah.
different things you need to be mindful of.
what is NEPA?
Oh, what does it stand for?
I don't know if it's National Environmental Policy Act.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Okay.
I don't know. That I would have to
And-
double check.
I mean, we just completed the open space and recreation plan that did include a listing of the historic sites in town, and we did not have anything up there at all. So, but we can certainly ask those questions.
Well, I mean, right in the first sentence, it says they will submit, Acer Associates will submit documentation on behalf of AT&T to SHPO, right? So can we get a copy of that documentation?
Sure.
Presumably, it would have a little bit more data on the site.
It's a modification of a cellular antenna.
Yes, that it's, they're basically updating them. It's going to remain the same height that it is now. The same number of antennas.
Oh, they're already there?
Yeah,
Said it's
Okay.
they're gonna install 3. So
And-
are
they
they
I think
installing-
they're replacing what was there.
And then I guess the follow-up question for like affected species, right? Do they have any data on this technology and associated local species that might be affected by such? We would ask. Right? I don't know.
Well, this one, it specifically says it's accepting comments related only to the historic properties. It's not the environmental review piece.
Okay. So then we just need what they're furnishing to the state historic property
Okay.
office or preservation office, I think.
Sounds good. Any other comments or questions on the correspondence? All right, moving on to applications. We have the ZBA, so it's the zoning board application of 623 for Elite Truck and Tire, 406 Woodport Road. So I believe everyone had the opportunity to look at this online, but we wanted to also take a deeper dive here in person with the paper copies of it. So should we all, yeah,
Invite the public and.
yeah, we all
Yeah,
can
let's
go
do
look
the
at it. So
public.
would everybody like to
Yeah.
go down there? Okay.
Need a peek over? Absolutely. Appreciate it. You can come fully up here. if you
Oh,
need to.
okay.
Yeah.
Come through.
I'm crossing the line. Thank you.
I think that's just something.
All right, which one is this? Reading upside down.
Oh, here, you can, it's okay with me.
New,
Okay.
probably.
Existing conditions. All right, that's the existing conditions. Layout plan, this is the new layout. Proposed planters. Feed line, other planters. Adding a grass area, proposed truck stalls.
Stalls, indoor, outdoor.
They look
Outdoor.
outdoor. Proposed box truck stalls. And then additional stalls down here. This looks like cars, though. They got handicap plus 3 other places.
The problem is, this curve is an island out here, and trucks coming out can't go left.
No, they
They
can't.
would have to go 1/4 down
Yeah, there's a,
to
you're
turn
right.
around.
Right here in the road, there is an island blocking it.
And where are you gonna turn around?
Unfortunately, I live in Lake Saginaw. There's a big wide opening right here. And people tend to like go in there to turn around. And I don't want to see tractor trailers doing that. That's where the school bus stop is. People cross over there. And if they don't turn around there, then they're coming downtown.
Oh, yeah, this is it here, this is the curve.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the deed line. I think this is the edge of the road.
Yeah,
Or
that,
is
no,
that the
that's the
median?
middle of the road.
No,
This
no,
is
you're
the
right.
deed line.
That
This
is
is
the
the road.
median.
This is the median, okay.
Yeah, you're right.
Actually,
That's
their
the
deed
middle
line
of the
goes into the street. They were saying that last night.
Yeah. When they put the road in it, cut the deed line.
Plus, when they pull out of there, you know, fast tractor trailers are going, how slow they are. People are coming down here at like 40 miles an hour,
mm-hmm.
and they're pulling out at 5, 10 miles an hour.
Yeah. Remember that
And how
horrid
big were
accident
they
too that was
saying?
right over here?
Yeah,
Tractor trailer.
how big? They say last night, because ours got cut out, so I don't,
No, yeah, it did cut out.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we also have a zoning board, to the zoning board, a traffic bureau memo.
Was it updated?
Initial review concluded that the proposed improvements would have minimal traffic impact and no foreseeable adverse effect on roadway safety or circulation. However, after further consideration and site review, I would like to revise the assessment to include several traffic safety concerns. Truck and trailer access onto Route 181. The site plan includes large trucks and trailer tractors exiting the property onto New Jersey Route 181, near New Jersey exit 15 ramp. Vehicles exiting 15 often travel at higher speeds, which raises significant safety concerns. The time it takes for a truck or trailer to pull safely out into traffic may increase the risk of collision. Limited access for re-entry to 15 due to the curb center median. That's exactly what you were just saying there, Ted. Vehicles exiting the site can only travel northbound back towards the center of town. It's unclear from the application how trucks will re-access Route 15 south or continue to their destination without a designated turnaround or traffic control measure. This may lead to unsafe U-turns or increased traffic on local roads.
You're saying that they come around where that little island is, where there used to be a covered wagon years ago. And that's right going into Lake Saginaw,
I don't know if there was a covered wagon there, but yeah.
right before the apartment.
Now you're telling your age.
There was a covered wagon.
There was. And there was a horrible accident there.
Oh,
That they had the car, yeah.
that's why they had to get rid of
And
the
there
covered
have been-
wagon?
No, it
Oh,
was,
oh, oh.
no, it was just very old.
As it is, like right here, when you're coming off of 15, when you're coming southbound on 15 to get onto 181, even though it's a yield, you almost have to come to a stop because you can't see these cars that are coming at 40 miles an hour. And I don't think they mentioned in there how many box trucks are coming in every day to, I think it was like
They were
six.
saying three of
Six.
them, 3 box trucks, that
Three-
was like one thing that
deliver
I
the-
caught, yeah, that I caught from the Canfield
Three?
one trailer.
So it would
Yeah.
be
And how
good.
did they say how big the trucks were? How long
They
they
just
were?
said box trucks
So
will be
three
No,
bringing them
no,
in.
trail, the 50,
I don't remember either.
I think we should say we're opposed to it unless they can get a break in the concrete median.
Boom.
Or fix, somehow fix, but yeah. Yeah,
That's
well,
one
keep in mind, we're
concern.
just advisory, so we don't get to approve anything, but we
Right.
can advise that we have concerns about that.
My concerns are the wetlands and the stream.
Yes.
You can see them better on this map.
yes.
Oh, sorry.
Because you also have the elevation and the slope that's when you have the stalls here, right, for the tractor trailers, you see that the slope is going this way, straight to the wetlands, which you have delineated here and straight to the stream.
And
That
have
I
they
believe
been
the
filled
stream-
in? That has been filled in over the years.
And that on top of that, there's a mapped fill on this, on the DEP data miner, which is basically like cuts through the side like this. So is this contaminated or not contaminated?
We don't know.
But that's the concern. And I think,
Have they done a
yeah,
environmental?
Is this the river? right
that's
there?
the stream, yeah.
That's a stream that goes
I
into
don't
the
know
lake.
if I'm allowed to show this map or not. From
Yeah,
Google.
and, yeah,
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
that goes to the lake as well.
This is the
Saginaw.
property here.
Yes.
Here's 15, and you're coming off of 15 here, so I'll give you a general idea. This is the property. There's a stream that I highlighted in yellow that feeds into Lake Saginaw. So all the way around the property, here's the property,
Mhm.
and it looks like part of that stream goes right through their property, and the other one
Oh,
this
it's
way.
one of the
and it's
tributaries to
feeding-
Lake Saginaw.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm here.
Now, we looked at this
And you
a
can
while
keep this
ago.
if
A
you want.
while ago.
Sure.
You can keep
What
that.
happened with it then?
Now, is this the same owners that came, that bought it from Acting Apart or
Yes.
whomever owned it?
This is
And
the
they were
family.
originally going to do a junkyard?
I
And it
think
was
so.
denied.
I think so.
Yeah.
I thought it was always gonna be some kind of tire.
That's what I thought
recycling.
too.
And those are the documents, and it's
Yeah, it was always gonna
documented
be a
illegal
tire.
dumping in this area.
And
It's
it got
documented
denied
by
back
the
then.
township and it's
why?
documented
I
by the
don't know.
DEP.
When was that?
With the
1985?
85, with the wetlands encroachment, and my question is, was there anything ever done for this? Because it is documented by the DEP, by the Sparta
Right, it is.
Township, and.
Yep. Do you remember this
stream
from back then?
encroachment.
Were you on the environmental commission in 1985?
I think so. I was the, yeah, I was the planning board member.
Oh, okay. So maybe you remember that.
At one of your meetings, I wasn't present, but it was an online, I commented that there was somebody doing water testing through various areas of Lake Mohawk and a couple other lakes around, and I asked, can you include Lake Saginaw? And I got a response, yes, we can.
And we did.
So, oh, you did, so that you were asking about, was there testing done, maybe that
Yeah,
might be
that
helpful.
though, that's the salt
That's-
watch. That's particularly
yeah.
for testing the salt that comes off the roads.
The roads.
So it's
Okay.
a single
Okay.
thing that we're looking for. But yeah,
Yeah.
I did do Lake Saginaw and this year too.
Thank
And the
you.
results were, they're starting to go up unfortunately for Lake
Oh.
Saginaw. Yeah.
Oh.
But what happened to this the first time we looked at it? Did it go before the planning board? Was it denied?
I
I'd like
don't
to
know.
know.
I
It
don't
was
know whatever
denied,
happened.
but I don't know who denied it.
And why?
I
Why
don't
was
know.
I think it's in one of these memos. that
But
they-
the soil
they
has
needed to
not
come
been,
back.
there hasn't been an environmental on it, I don't believe.
Well,
on the
this is it.
soil.
This is it.
I don't,
That's
that's the
that's the
environmental.
environmental statement that they had done.
Oh, yeah,
Here's the environment.
that's pretty,
What's the year on that?
That's the new one,
2025.
February 28, 2025.
No, this is just the list of the documents, right, that are, what is this?
Oh my gosh, that area's gotta be tested. The
Yeah.
soil's gotta be tested.
Yeah, because that's all fill.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm
There
trying
was
to
a-
put
oh,
it
sorry.
back together. Is everybody good with looking at the maps, or do we?
Yeah, and they said they're gonna put a fence.
Yes.
That was
What's the fence
issue.
made out of? Corrugation is all I heard.
8-foot
corrugated.
fence.
To the next
Then-
page.
Okay,
So
We're looking
what
for a
was
lot of
done
variances.
yeah.
After all of this happened. Was there
I
any
don't know.
removed?
I don't know.
Was
If you want it, you can
Was
have
the
it.
material removed? Was anything done?
Well, now we have a dirty dirt ordinance, and people are supposed to come in and tell the quantity of soil they're bringing, where it came from,
Right.
and get a permit.
Yes.
But that's only in the past 3 years
Yeah,
or
it's
so.
not- yeah.
This is nineteen
And that's what,
84.
yeah. And that's,
What are
that's,
these maps?
that might be the reason why this is marked on the,
Yeah.
What's the
on the
date? These are
data miner as the historic bill, like the mapped historic bill.
And
So
as
a
well
lot
as
of
the
this-
bad
These are
PFAS
25.
into the water
Yeah.
with tires, is it gonna be stored inside, outside, just in trucks?
By hand.
That I
From one to
heard,
the other.
from one,
There's 2 forklifts on the property right now.
yeah.
Been there for a long time.
Are they new
But they said they're
tires?
not.
No,
No,
used tires.
they're used tires.
Which will be most likely have
They're
all of the grinded.
all of the crumbly.
Yeah.
Right, right. Which is
It's a
wonderful
technical
material.
term.
Yeah.
And plus, the tires are fire hazard. They really are.
And it's not easy to put out. We need
Yeah,
special
and the-
chemicals and it can burn
The
for
air.
weeks or like a day,
Oh,
week.
that's a good point. Do we know if our fire department can handle a tire fire?
Mm.
There
All
was
right,
the
let me
fire at
start
Sparta
writing some
Tire.
notes down.
Yes,
But
here,
I don't think that involved the tires.
Okay.
so.
the PFAS, the water, soil contamination, testing,
The stream and wetlands encroachment,
Yeah, and that is a C1 stream.
was there ever?
is it a C1?
It's
Yeah.
C1 that wraps around that property.
Okay, soil contamination, so it's an environmental. And,
And there's supposed to be a soil and erosion and sediment control plan. That's why the stop work order was issued, and I don't know if there was ever done any.
but the landfilling,
Everything that's
Of the
wrong
subject.
with the traffic.
okay, here it is, the landfilling was in violation.
The land, the landfilling.
I don't know how much I can say right now.
That's,
Is it okay?
what you
I'm
can
like
say?
I'm trying not to say anything.
Oh.
because, You know, I'm not.
Well, we have public,
Well, we're having that after this. the
Yeah.
Yeah, so-
application, So just save it for a few minutes.
When they
Save-
first bought the property,
you
they
can
were
say that.
tearing down trees.
All right, so I have 3 items, PFAS from the tires, fire hazard from tire fire, and landfill. Was it ever remediated? Anything else? I think we mentioned that in our first memo, but I can mention it again.
Okay.
Well,
It's
yeah,
not just, it's not just PFAS, it's heavy metals, it's
okay.
hazardous elements from, I mean, it's heavily rained, so that's true. Right? So
Okay. All right, well, I'll draft the memo between Emily and I, and then we can share it with everybody. I didn't mean to cut people off. If you still want to look,
Got it,
you can keep looking. You don't have to stop.
okay.
I just wanted to make sure I captured everybody's comment.
I can clean it all up.
The environmental impact statement.
I didn't look in great detail at the lighting plan. Did you have any comments on that one?
It came up, I mean, right, there's something about lighting, I didn't really look at it, I think the only thing I would say was, again, the typical stuff, just
Okay.
temperature, which I think it was already in the original,
Okay.
3,000 Kelvin.
All right, I'll put it in there again, though.
But I don't know, do we want to talk about the environmental impacts?
Yeah, I was going to like mention that, like, as far as the environmental impact statement that was prepared, I think for this particular side, we could ask for something more in depth versus very general report.
Okay.
Anything with the history? Do you want to ask about the history? Because we know that there was.
Yeah, that illegal dumping that was documented by the
Yeah.
township and by the DEP with the violations and the stop order.
Yeah, I have that part too.
Yes. And the fact that I think we mentioned it, or maybe not on the memo that we had, that there's a mapped fill documented on the DEP.
Yep.
Which doesn't necessarily mean it's contaminated. However, without testing, we won't know. And with the proximity to the wetlands and streams.
And then there's the stream encroachment.
Yeah.
So it's a tributary, there's at least one of those is tributary to Lake Saginaw, which would kind of, it's a concern for what is in the historic fill. And we know that there's documented sheet flow off of the site into the tributary, so therefore it's feeding into Lake Saginaw.
And it's gotta be, since 1984, it's gotta been a lot more. It's gone in there
Yeah.
since then. Also, the size of the trucks, like I said, I couldn't hear that last night. And the lighting, is it 24/7?
I have the lighting.
Okay, and then, what was the other?
And I think they mentioned that nothing would be stored overnight. That was one thing that I caught from the meeting, if that's correct. But how the storage containers are protected from the stormwater runoff, like if any water is getting into the storage containers, how are they trying to mitigate that and make sure it's not getting onto the stream/wetlands?
And then they said they'd bring us a sample of the corrugation, but let alone, that's the entrance to our town, what is the aesthetic implementation? As the entry point into Sparta and into Lake Mohawk?
So yeah, it sounded like the intent was to, I think, take 3 box trucks, fill a tractor trailer, and then take the tractor trailer 4 hours off site. But yeah, if it's not filled, does it stay overnight? If there's a rainstorm,
Yeah.
by design. Yeah, if there's a rain event, you know, what kind of protections? And I think Sparta even Sparta in their kind of tire recycling basics it was talking about, but again, maybe because tires are heavily I guess I want to know, is can we find out, is this facility as licensed, as they have an annual license? Is this facility then considered
Approved?
a dump? Is it a recycling center? What is it? Because if it is, then I think that adds another,
And what are they gonna be doing inside the building?
I think that's just paperwork, right?
Is that just office? Okay.
But, yeah, so,
I mean, not that there's anything wrong with a company like this, but as a entryway into our town, is that the aesthetics we want?
All right, I
Well,
think I have the comments. I will draft the memo and then between Emily and I, and then we'll share it out. Make sure we
and you got
captured everything.
traffic?
I got the traffic.
Oh, and one more, are they planning on having any hazardous substances stored on the site? And if so, where?
Where?
Yeah, like where, like in the buildings, like on the pallets, like if
Or
they,
What and where?
yeah.
But then I saw it, I don't think they are. I think they already answered that, but then I've seen definitions that classify used tires as hazardous substances. So I don't know how we get an answer on that, because that goes again to how do you characterize this facility?
And if they would have, one more, if they would have any Nikes codes, what,
Sorry, say it again?
the Nikes, I see, Nikes codes, then, hold on.
Oh, yeah,
Hold on 1 second.
industry lingo.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's good.
North America Industry Classification System, Nikes,
Oh,
NAICS. If they would have any Nikes,
Specification?
yes, what code it would be?
got it. Okay. Anything else? All right, it's time for public comment. Would anyone like to share? And we don't have a time limit,
Oh,
so
okay, thank you.
we just let people talk.
Well, first of all, my name is Gail Byrne. I'm not gonna get too close because it's backbeat. I live in Lake Saginaw, and that's why I'm here. Last night, kind of ran out of time.
Oh, but
Ran out of time last night, so I'm glad that, you guys have time for me today. Thank you. So anyway, the owners of the business, during the meeting last night, they had mentioned that they had other businesses, from what I understand, doing the same thing, that they've done this before.
I
don't
think in
know.
Jersey City and somewhere else.
Yeah,
I think that
Pennsylvania.
they mentioned that, yes.
Okay, I wasn't sure, but I couldn't find anything about these other businesses, and if it's not the same business, same name. So is there any history there with the other businesses? That's one of my concerns. The other thing is that once the owner picks up the tires, he's not claiming ownership of it. He's saying that I am providing a service, and kept asking him, so who owns the tires once you pick it up? Well, I'm providing a service. So God forbid anything happens, who owns those tires? And who do we go after if there's a problem? So need to define that.
the people watching can hear you. Can you speak a little?
Oh, it's still not? Okay, sorry. Okay. So anyway, I'm just giving you my feedback. You don't have to answer me, but this is something I'd like you to consider. Okay, but you're pretty much talking about the environmental impact, and just to take into consideration, it's not just the tires, but the dust from the tires gets into the air and into the streams. So while they're moving them, the dust is moving. Now, with the I'm sorry, Department of Environmental Protection. Um, Do we request from them to do a study on the property?
No, it's required.
It is required. Okay, so we will be getting something from them. Who reaches out to them for it? Okay. Okay, and then, I know you kind of mentioned it over here, but it's in my paperwork here. I was concerned about fires because the tires are highly flammable. Is the fire department prepared for that? And they're known to burn not just for a day, they can go on beyond that with the burning. They're highly flammable. Mosquito, it went out, didn't it? Mosquito breeding ground. Tires can release methane gas, causing climate change, air quality. Okay, the owner said that there wouldn't be any forklifts used on the property, but if you drive by there right now, there's two of them. Two forklifts on the property. And part of the questioning about that was the fuel for the forklifts, if that was to leak. The streams are right there. So that was concerned, if those forklifts are going to remain. They said they weren't doing change to the property, but in my opinion, other people using the property used the building. Now they're using the hardtop. Whereas in the others were just like, okay, we're parking cars are here for an hour and we leave. Now they're really using it, so it's a big difference. And I think that's it. I appreciate you hearing me out.
Thank you for your comments.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you for your comments, and I apologize. Yesterday ended without you not being able to provide your public comments, so thank you for coming today.
Thank you. I
Before
appreciate
before you sit down, you live adjacent the site, right, or downstream.
it. Right,
You're kind of,
directly
you-
impacted.
well, yeah, did you, beyond the forklifts? I mean, I haven't been paying attention to this site. I'm just curious. Is there
Right.
anything else that you would want to bring up that you've noticed in the last couple of years that was concerning or just?
Well, it was addressed last night as far as the blacktop is completely crumbling. And with the tractor trailers coming and going in there, I mean, it's just gonna be gone. So they had mentioned about resurfacing, and I think the owner of the property said they would do that.
Yeah, I thought I heard something about trees though, I guess is,
Oh, yeah, when they first purchased the property, they were taking trees down in the back. Like in the northern left corner. And I don't know why or what, but I tried a little. So, and then there was that cease and desist order. So I don't know.
what was that?
I don't know. I don't know. That's just something I heard, that there was a cease and desist order.
For taking the trees down?
I don't know if it's for taking the trees down or what, but they started taking the trees down. And then I heard there was a cease and desist order, so
Maybe they've violated the tree ordinance?
I don't know. But you know what? And now that I'm listening to myself, I heard it, so it might be hearsay. You may want to check with like somebody else in the town to see if there was a cease and desist order.
Do you know about when that was?
When they first purchased the property, so
Okay.
what was that 22?
Okay. And that just reminds me about the trees. I think there was a note that most of the trees were deciduous. So if we were talking about buffers, which would protect against sheet flow runoff, that I don't, I guess this recommendation was already essentially made that, you know, if you put in some evergreens, that then there would be a little bit more biomass to filter. Okay, Thanks. No, I thought there was something about the trees and
Yeah,
something else
yeah.
about the site that,
I have so many notes here, I just kind of,
do you wanna look it over one last before you? I don't,
okay.
because you're here.
Yeah, I mentioned the history of the business, last owner. Like around. I have like environmental impact, chemicals into the soil, tire particles and dust, highly flammable, mosquito bedding unsightly, mosquito breeding.
How long have you lived in Lake Saginaw?
Probably about 18 years.
Okay. And you asked for testing to be done at that lake. Have you noticed anything different since you've lived there with the lake, just in general?
No, I peek in on the meetings now and again to see what's going on, and plus I get the emails that there's upcoming meetings and kind of read the agenda to see if there's anything of importance to me.
Yeah.
And I watched the one video and it had about the testing of the water. Well, I didn't remember exactly what the testing was for.
For
So,
this meeting, but you guys don't have like testing of the
They do.
lake?
They regularly test that lake every year because there's swimming. People
Yeah.
swim in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they post that.
Yep.
and
So
Okay.
the beach
I'm not a
club,
board member, by the way, I'm just a resident.
Yeah.
so the
but-
beach club does test the water.
So can we get like,
I
is
don't
there,
know, I could ask them.
just to get a baseline?
Yeah.
Just have,
But I don't think they test for, the salt watch is testing for the road salt. I don't know if they test for that.
yeah, I'm just wondering like total dissolved solids but I mean, yeah,
Something to
Anyway.
compare, yeah, I understand.
okay. Thank-
If you Google Sparta Hills Beach Club.
Yep.
You'll have the phone number, and, well, you have
I
it,
know them.
you have it.
2 or 3 years ago, I think they shut down the lake for, what was the year that we had all
Oh,
those?
harmful alcohols?
Yeah.
I mean, that's,
That
yeah,
same
and that's,
year, they had to shut down Lake Saginaw for like 2 or 3 days. It wasn't very long.
that's the kind of stuff I'm just curious. I don't
Yeah.
know.
We can reach out.
It's nice and clear.
It's always a good lake, yeah, clean.
I just was thinking that in 2022 and before that, there was a lot of cutting of the ash trees. And so I'm wondering if what they were doing was related to that at all. I'm just throwing it out there. If they didn't remove the trunk itself, you'd be able to tell by looking at the bark and the damage to it. But that could have been what they were doing, especially if the trees were close to the building. No, they weren't. Okay, so, yeah.
But yeah, I'm familiar
But
with
that's
that. All
something
the
that
ash
to
trees were
consider.
dying.
Yeah.
Any
All
other
right, thank you
questions?
so much.
Thank you, I
Thanks for
appreciate your
coming.
time.
Any other public comments? Okay. All right, next agenda item is reports.
Can I add one more thing? I'm sorry. I don't know if we can request it as part as, our comment, but if owner of the property during the mortgage, like during the real estate transaction, if they did the phase 1 environmental site assessment, those are usually requested by the bank, so, for the mortgage purposes. So if they ever did one, if we could request it just to see what the phase 1 shown.
Yeah.
If they have anything else that we are seeing right now. Yeah, all right, thank you.
All right, now moving on to reports. Who would like to go first? Margie, you want to go first?
We haven't
Ladies
had a
first?
meeting, so I have no report.
Oh, okay. Neil, we'll just go down the table.
Okay, the master plan subcommittee met last Thursday. We talked about formalizing the questions that we will be presenting to our different stakeholder groups, and we're working on those now.
Great. Oh, planning board,
Planning
sorry.
board, Rob could do that.
Oh, I was hoping you would.
Well, okay, what was it that we were doing? What was the thing, oh, I just want, the one thing is that on June 18th, there's going to be an important public meeting, right? And it's going to be about fair share housing. And we have a good plan, and it's posted online. People can read about it before they come, and then come and ask questions about it. But it's excellent, it seemed to be a wonderful plan that was done by our town planner, or Catherine Sarmad. And it actually fulfills our round 4 requirements, our housing requirements. Yeah.
Okay.
Where is this posted? You said something about online?
It is posted online. I think last week it was posted, wasn't it, Emily?
Not yet. Tomorrow afternoon, it should be online.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I confirmed with Dory this
Oh,
afternoon.
on the township website?
Yeah, on the
Okay.
website, yep,
It's a planning board meeting.
yes.
Gotcha.
That's a great update. And Landon, trails and zoning, and I don't know what all else you're doing.
Trails, we'd have been met since the 19th, or we're meeting on the 19th, so
Okay.
that'll be a good update. And zoning board, great comments for current application, but since we're in the middle of it, I'm just not going to talk about it, and maybe at the end. So
Yep.
that's all I have.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, moving on to unfinished business, sustainable New Jersey certification. Any updates? Anything we need to load? Have we heard back from?
We haven't heard back yet. We can upload Jenna's workshop now. And then the last round of certification will be July 31st.
Does Sparta Day count for anything?
I don't know. We can look.
No, I think it would be part of one of the actions that we already did. There was one action like that I included Sparta Day and
Earth
other
Day?
events.
Earth Day? Or,
Birthday I put in.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that was its own category of green fair.
Okay. All right, awesome. And we haven't, oh, you said we haven't gotten feedback. All right, speaker presentation schedule. I know there's something coming up.
Yep, next meeting, June 26th at 7 PM at our regularly scheduled environmental commission meeting. We're going to have a trustee from Ridge and Valley Conservancy come, and he's going to be speaking about their organization's work to keep New Jersey's open spaces up here free from development, and then also providing some guidance on how you can permanently preserve your own property. So I made a flyer. Emily got it posted on the website. So hopefully we have a good turnout from the public, because this is an important topic in Sparta for sure.
Really important, because we have that new open space plan and all. Yeah, so hope we have a big turnout. Come back.
All right,
And this is the flyer, if you want to just pass it down and look.
thank you. All right, we are planning on the deer population mitigation presentation from the New Jersey Department of Wildlife and Wildlife Management. I think I got that long name correct. Is going to be July 10th, along with an ecological presentation at the same time. We are inviting, of course, the public and all the other boards and the town council to that one also. I'm not sure if it's a joint meeting yet, but Emily's going to look into that and make sure if it's a joint meeting or if it's because joint meetings require some special notification and stuff, so we'll see.
What was the date of that?
July 10th. Tree ordinance update. The update is that me and Corey are playing phone tag. So I know he has some questions for me. I call him, he calls me. We never seem to connect, but I know that they are working on that.
really? Okay.
Packaging and Paper Product Stewardship Act. Who had that one?
Well,
Margie,
the
you-
three Margie, we've already talked about them unless
Okay.
anybody wants to discuss it or have any other questions. And I think we left it that you just have to find time to discuss this at town council.
Council, which we haven't had a meeting. So ours got postponed because of the, it got postponed because of the voting
Oh, that's right.
yesterday
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
or Tuesday.
All right, so hopefully by the next meeting, we can have an update on those. So moving on to new business, I have 2 new business items, but does anybody have anything else?
I would just say that a new date has been selected for the North Jersey Rivers Conference. It's going to be on October 17th at Centenary University again. So that's like a conference that has a number of different workshops on a variety of environmental topics. So I'll have more information about that over the coming months, but it's something that I think will be of interest to a lot of people.
I'm sorry,
Great.
the North Jersey,
Rivers Conference,
And you said October 17th.
October 17th. Yep.
At Centenary, and I think it's only $35
Good.
to enter, yeah. And see all the great workshops and the speakers, yep.
And both Chris and I are on the planning committee this year.
yay.
so.
Exciting. All right, the 2 items I had are student liaison. So John is graduating. His term ends in September, so I haven't touched base with him. I'm assuming he's still going to be here some of the summer. But we did send out a note to the schools so that, letting them know that we have an opening starting September 1st. And see if there's any children interested, they can put in an application. So if you know anybody, I did forward, I think I got all of you, forward it to whoever you might know, at students that might be interested or school personnel that might be interested in helping a student do that. So thank you. And also, the other thing I forgot to add to the new business, and I meant to bring a draft of the memo tonight, but I couldn't quite get it done, is it's time for our annual report that we always submit to the town council and the town manager. Technically, it runs through June 30th. So next meeting, I won't be here, but I will give you all a draft memo in between now and then, so that you can talk about it the next time. And then if there's any last minute updates, we can put that in for the last week of June, and then turn it over to the town council, town manager, first week of July. Okay. I think everybody's been here when we've been through this before, but Margie, what it has is like who our members are and the various changes that have happened to the different members and their statuses. All the meetings that we've had, the dates of the meetings, how many meetings we've had, applications that we've reviewed, correspondence we've gotten, or memos that we've created, and then a whole listing of all the activities that we've done too is usually included.
okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
And that's it on the annual report. Does anybody have any other new business we didn't cover? Right, do I have a motion to adjourn? Oh, public comment was before, but do you want to?
No,
No, our public comments for anything. So
For
if you want to
anything,
talk,
just
go
come on.
ahead.
Yeah, come on.
Nope, our public comments for everything, yeah.
Hi, so my name is Tammy Teller. I had actually sent an email. I know I spoke to Bob Otto about composting, and I had sent an email. I understood that it was supposed to go to all of you and the environmental board, but I don't know if it did. But anyway, I would like to talk about maybe creating an initiative or somehow starting a trial of composting I live in Lake Mohawk, so I can only speak for my area. My oldest daughter lives in Berkeley, California, and we also live in Manhattan. And it's unbelievable to me how much food waste there is and how, I mean, just think of a pineapple or a watermelon and like how much we're throwing in the garbage and how, how nutritious your soil could be if we were able to take our food waste and compost it and make it into soil, reducing the ability for fertilizers. I mean, it has a lot of benefits, and I'm happy. I mean, I do have ideas on starting easily and simply for those people who are interested, but it can't work unless there's a place where the food waste can go to and then can be processed, like whether it would be where like the garbage goes, you know, if it's possible to do it there. I know that I have picked up free soil and other things from the Sussex County area. But anyway, I would like to volunteer my time to do what I can do to create an initiative or start the process and see. And that's why I'm here.
Oh, thank you.
Do you mean like having a program to pick up?
No, so like
Compost or-
the way it happened in New York City initially, and now they do pick up, but to see if the program was successful, is you collect your own waste in like a little bucket. There's so many different kinds that you can buy, and honestly, they don't create bugs. There's nothing like that. It has a cover, and you put it in that yourself, and then in your garage or in a seal-proof, you could either take that bucket or move it into a bigger bucket in your garage. And then what we would do is we would drive it or carry it to a main bucket, like I was thinking of like in Sparta, like one bucket somewhere that's self-contained, bear-proofed. And then then the town would pick it up from that one place or a couple of places instead of individually from each house. So that's how it went in the city. They had these brown, like waste containers that you had you had a code, you had a push button code to open it, being a resident of New York City, and to throw your compost in. And it became so successful that it is now the law in New York City. You had to, initially they were giving out free brown composting bins. Now you have to pay for them. And it's mandatory to compost. And I think it's a great program. Then people can get free soil. I mean, you know, if it works really well. And in Berkeley, California, their garbage can is this big, their recycling is this big, and their composting is this big. I mean, nobody really even has garbage anymore, most of it. So, and I think with what's happening in our environment, it's important to consider that alternative. And there is so much, it breaks and like, if I had a bigger yard, I would do it myself, you know, because you can get bins and you can, but I don't even have a lot of soil. I don't need the soil really.
Yeah. We've talked about this before. There are different towns that have different kinds of programs for this, like what you were talking about with the central location, getting a bucket and things like that. And it's something that several of us have been interested in for a while now, and we'd like to do something like this. I know I have my own backyard composting, and it's amazing. I put out a garbage can like once a month, if that.
And now I don't know like how I could help, but if it's going to Sussex County, like I don't even know what you'd call, like wherever the garbage is, and talking to, I don't know, like
Skooma.
whatever.
I don't think they have.
They don't have a
They don't have food
composting.
compact.
I know, but they do have soil, and they do have the other stuff, like there was a time when you could go there and pick it up for free.
No, that still happens. You can pick up the mulch, but
Yeah.
it's only made from yard waste, like vegetative waste that people are bringing, and leaves and things like that. So
That's like perfect, like put the food in with that and you have.
Yeah,
And
so
the
right now-
water, and then and you have your compost, so they're almost like halfway there, they're like 20-30% there from what I understand on how to do it, but
that
I don't know.
there's state laws that make this difficult, and that's one of the resolutions that we had on our, under unfinished business was, there's a municipal food waste, reduction resolution that we're looking into.
Yeah.
So that's something.
But why
that-
would that make it difficult?
Because there's, I forget what the laws are, but there's some state laws that make it difficult. Like you can't legally take compost to, say, the garden, can't think of the name of it.
Community garden?
Community garden. Couldn't think of that word. Yeah, there are different regulations, so there's a bill that's trying to change that, but this is something it's very interesting, we'd like to do, so.
Anyway, so I left my name and email, and
Thank you so
give an
much.
assignment, happy to try and fulfill it.
Thank
Great,
you.
Thank you.
I think Newton had a pilot program. We should ask them what happened with theirs. Didn't they have one?
The school does.
The school.
Yeah, the
That's
school, Newton School does a pretty good job of composting their cafeteria
Well, that
waste.
was the other thing that, it doesn't necessarily have to be municipal. Like, it could be a community initiative, or it could be a school, like the same thing. Like, it could be somewhere where people could put it. I just don't know then what that school is doing with it. It's probably how they're actually composting it.
I think it goes to, there's a company called Ag Choice that's in, I guess it's Andover, that does that. I think that's where they take their compost, their food waste. I'm not sure. No, they do that.
Thank you so much.
Okay,
Thank you.
Tammy, would you, this is, if you want to take a picture of this resolution that we're hoping our town council will sign. And what that will do is that will encourage our New Jersey legislature to pass these two bills. And one of them speaks about burdensome permitting requirements that Neil mentioned. And the other talks about a comprehensive county-level strategy to reduce food waste. But if you'd like to take a picture of this is something that we've been working on this year. And if enough towns sign resolutions such as this, then, that will urge our legislatures to finally do something about this. But you're welcome to take a look at it and take a picture. It's got the bill numbers. Yeah, we play together. Yeah, where are you? Oh, good.
All right. Any other new business? All right, do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that
Chris
motion.
seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you.
That was exactly an hour.